If you're a musician, maybe warm up your voice, as Abiola Time told us she did the other day. But yeah, so how's everybody's weekend? I'm with everybody: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. One page man, good morning. Kataro's art, good morning. Aliyu Aziz, good morning. How did your weekend go? Good morning, 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 morning to you too. Sequence Studios, good morning. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, please let me know if you can hear my audio. Christian Ekwaki, good morning. I apologize in advance for not seeing your name correctly, your surname correctly. But yeah, good morning. How's everyone's weekend? Sketchy Wiz, Isaac, good morning. Says good morning, boss. Sketchy Wiz, good morning to you too, bro. Um, could you help me check my YouTube if the audio is coming out well? I believe it should be, but I just need some outside feedback because everything looks good on my end. Yeah, so last week we did a drawing, okay, of this full illustration I want to finish up on stream. So before we continue, I just want to warm up my hand basically with something very familiar before we start doing, something that is more intensive. Um, so what happened was, of course, while I was up early to prepare for the stream and everything, so I still had some spare time, so I drew this to a point. Of course, I'll do another portrait in front of everyone, but I just did this while I was waiting for 8 o'clock. Yeah, thank you very much, Sketchy Wiz. Which one do you want me to call you on the stream? Should I call you by the name I know you by, or your username? This guy is under sunlight, under intense sunlight. Art Godwin, good morning. Hope you had a good weekend. One of the most common complaints is that the weekend is not enough. Maybe next thing I should be asking people is, hope your weekend was satisfactory. Oops. Sketchy Wiz is a mouthful. Yep. But yeah, if you're on YouTube and you want to say hello, I'm looking at I'm looking at that screen also. So Danny Newman, good morning. Benzie, good morning. Um, um, Christian, good morning. Yeah, I see you. Good morning. I'm Joko Heat. Good morning. How was your weekend? Weekend went well. That's good. Yeah, my weekend was good too. I tried to stick with my rule of not working on weekends, but something always fails that plan. So I think I should mention from time to time that if you want to see my screen properly, you know, like the actual screen share, you can go to my YouTube, everybody. So, and of course the recordings of all this will be there on YouTube. And I hear the audio is better, but I'm working on making the audio of all this better generally. I'm trying to get one of these mics, so let's see how that goes. Eye placement. Oh, okay. Pin that message. Okay, pin that message so that everyone that comes in will know. Is it possible to pin on Instagram lives? Monday morning. What's the plan this week? Okay, okay. Well, like I said before you guys came in, about this week, we will be refining this piece. Okay. So I just want to you know, just prepare my hand with all these sketches. So after this, we'll just get back to this one. So as for pinning the message, let's see. Select pin. Okay. You guys will have to forgive me because I have to distort the camera, the phone's camera. Uh, Okay, you know what? Just so we don't waste time and spoil the momentum of this stream, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll make sure I do that tomorrow because I have to like type a pre-type a message and all that that I will just copy and paste and pin properly. So just so we don't waste time here. Precious piece. I'll pin the message tomorrow for tomorrow's stream, and that's before the stream starts. Because once the same stream starts, I have to hang it on a tripod and all that, and getting it to that spring is to take time. Because there's a certain position I have to set this up for it to capture the tablet screen properly. Okay, first question. There's the E. You seem really good with planning out your work time. Like this early Momo sketch streams. Sorry, early Momo is Nigerian slang for early morning. So like this early morning sketch streams, do you follow a strict schedule when you have multiple jobs? Any sense of procrastination problems? Okay. Well, I kind of was expecting this question um, because of the timing of the streams and all that. It can be. I know it's odd, first of all, um, but yeah. So, do you follow a strict schedule when you have multiple jobs? Yes. Yes. So the schedule itself is more of like a schedule of your own personal life, as it were, not particularly schedule for handling multiple jobs. So, for example, I have a time when work must start. So from time I wake up, I have a time when I should wake up, and do every other thing so that work should start at a certain time. So, for example, for me, work is meant to start by 9 o'clock, right? 9 or 10 o'clock. Um, Before we started the streams, it was always 9 o'clock, right? And then, of course, I would use 1 hour before starting work to do my own thing. So either I could just be sketching, or maybe I'm learning something from maybe a course or something. Use that time to practice what I'm learning, or or a personal piece. Just use 1 hour every morning to um, work on that piece. You understand? So everything must happen before 9 o'clock, and then of course closing time for work is probably 6. But most times it just goes into the night. You understand? Without so closing time for work, I've not mastered that one very well. So usually I'm actually, of course there'll be breaks in between, right? So for example, um, from 12 to like 2 o'clock, I usually have a break. Probably I'll just use that time to um, find something to eat, do something unrelated to art, because from 9 to 12 I'm usually working. You understand? So those 3 hours, they are like the most productive time. Um, and of course, I won't. I think I said that on another stream that I try not to eat before 12 o'clock. You know. Yeah. So it's somehow strict to because everybody defines strict differently. So, but it's a thing where it's important to get other work done. You know. So you just have to set up one for yourself. But the general rule is there should be a time when work should start. There should be a time when you should wake up. Um, so for me, I have to wake up 2 hours before this stream, 6 o'clock, right? 6 o'clock. So if I wake up later than 6 o'clock, then I know that that day is I'm already running late for the whole of that day. You understand? And and of course, there are days when, of course, I don't get the privilege to work all day all through. So you just have to be more careful with your time. As for handling jobs, multiple jobs at the same time, again, when you know that, oh, there's multiple jobs, and so for example, like each job has a certain amount of time I want to invest in it per day. So for example, that's why I have like hierarchy for what each work is about, the level of importance for some works. So some of them will get 3 hours in the day, some of them will get 2 hours, so there could be like 4 jobs, right? Maybe a coloring, comic coloring job, a comic drawing job, all right? That's 3 jobs. And maybe another cover, right? So the two covers might get 2 hours for that day. The comic coloring, because coloring can be quite intensive, maybe 3 hours, right? Drawing also another 3 hours. Understand? So breaking up, knowing the total amount of time you need to work per day, and breaking that up to small bits for each job. You know, that's kind of how I do it. Understand? So, but yeah, the aspect of having a strict timeline for yourself is non-negotiable actually. It really is. It really is. It really is. So because like when you are a freelancer like myself, right? You are basically like you take the you bear the burden if you mess things up, right? There's nobody to no manager that will take the blame and all that. It's going to directly affect you. So knowing what's at stake is kind of part of my motivation for being strict with my routines and all that. So I don't think it's a natural thing, right? I don't think it's something that just you just have naturally. It's something you kind of have to work at. It's a skill, I believe. So your second question was, are there procrastination problems? Mm, procrastination problems. Well, if you're like, oh, as it were, temptation to procrastinate stuff, the, yes, of course, there are procrastination problems, but actually procrastinating is what I've not found myself doing, right? Because it's like there's a lot riding on it, all right? So it's like you have to report, for example, you have to be sending updates to clients, right? And kind of that's kind of the okay. One thing I know can help, right? Is and this just depends on if you're comfortable with it. Is I tell clients, oh, especially for long-term jobs, I tell them, oh, this is quite long term. We need to break it down. We need to have regular checkups, right? Um, so that we know we are still on track. So knowing that I have to give a regular feedback keeps me focused, all right? So I'm not, as it were, tempted kind of to just say, oh, I'm just going to sleep in all day, you understand? Knowing that, oh, my next clocking with XYZ clients is on Friday or it's on Wednesday, something like that, you know. Um, so yeah. So for something like unique now, right? The checkup is almost is we are quite in contact. So we usually have to you have to be on track, right? And Benvini as Marvel. Yeah, I'm not seeing so many. Marvel type, people working doing Marvel type stuff. Like most artists are working on one webtoon or the other. Okay, so let me do a quick review of where we've gone with this. Full opinion. Um, Rapture's Entertainment. It's for Rapture's Entertainment. We only do webtoons for now, at least. Oh, that's great. That's great. More power to you guys. More power to you guys. Okay, let me quickly go back to where we are at with this and where we went because I did some work on this without behind all of you's back. Where is it? Okay, there you go. So yeah. So last week I think we only got to the point where we drew this, right? Oh, come on. Yep. So we did the drawing last week, right? Um, we did the drawing. I'm not sure if we did the background. No, I'm very sure we didn't do the background. I had to do the background um, um, off camera because I was still making some decisions. I wasn't so sure of where exactly I wanted this to go. So when I was done with the background and all that, what I did was I put in the flat colors, right? Of course, based on our primary references. Let me get them out. Oops, this reference folder is already getting congested, so I'll have to. So yeah, these are our primary reference for the Egyptian outfit and all that. Um, and of course, I know we had this as a reference too. But then later on, off stream, I decided I'll just make sure that she's pouring something on the ground um, with this cup. So these are our third reference. Uh, then for the background has its own references too. Uh, Background has its own references. This one is just to help me place the what's it called now? To place the perspective and sense of skill, right? Um, Definitely not my work, so make no mistake about that. And yeah, so basically I'm going for a sunset mood, and then she's being lit from the back. So after placing all the flat colors, what I did was darken it. Oh, this is the cup. So of course, I shaded it. I changed the color of all our shading, right? And I gave it some blues, right? Then I put the highlights on a different layer with add turned on. Okay, this is Clip Studio, so I think it translates to linear dodge add on Photoshop, right? Omolora, good morning. I see you. So then somewhere along the line, okay, I think this one is totally irrelevant now. Yep. So this is where we're at. So somewhere along the line, I flattened, all of this for the character. I flattened it and put it on a new layer so that I can just paint on top of that. So that's what we have here on a new layer. As you can see, I'm already painting it, getting rid of the lines and trying to clean it up. So that's where we're at currently. So basically what I'm going for is she would be backlit, right? Let me get this off here. So she will be backlit, all right, with a warm color, right? And um and then the shadow color will be bluish, right? So the ambient color will be bluish. but the main source, light source from the back will be warm. So that's what I'm going for. And of course, the environment, since it's sunset, I will just make it reddish. Go for a reddish tone, right? So that's where we're at. So this is the bluish tones. Yeah, so let's get to it. Hold on this layer. Oh, okay. Okay, question. Why do you wear the glove? The glove is because this is glass, so you want to not have that friction between you and the glass, right? And then sometimes it gets hot, and you don't want your glass to be wet and sticky with your palm sweat and all that. So that's the point of the glove. And also, it makes you feel like a professional. So that's the added bonus. Yeah. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. There's the EA. Would really like to see your background rendering process. Yeah, I know backgrounds can be an issue. I had to learn how environment concept artists do their background before I thought I had a grip of backgrounds. So basically I will be painting the background as if it were a separate environment concept piece. And I will have to do that on Photoshop because Photoshop allows me to work with some um, specific process. Okay, so I'm stalling on this. Let's just get to it. Wait a second. Do I want to pick the face? Yeah, no biggie. Let me pick the face. Makes you feel like a professional. Yep, the glove is a special professional ingredient. Oops, Instagram. Your screen is okay. There we go. So this is the stage where you just block in everything and make sure you have your values right. How does one do 3D art? And is it better for metal objects like the staff? How does one do 3D art? Um, I'm no expert in 3D art myself, but I've had to use it for concept work. So basically, what I would do with 3D is, you remember I always say that, oh, everything is made from simple structures, right? So if, for example, maybe a building is meant to be spherical in nature, maybe half a sphere, and there's a crazy perspective that I'm supposed to use 3D for. I'm supposed to present that structure in. So I would just build a basic sphere on Blender, take different shots of it, different perspectives and all that, then import it as a JPEG to, or take a screenshot of it as a JPEG and bring it to uh, Photoshop or Clip Studio Paint and draw over it. So in a case like this, I'll probably build the stuff maybe with a cylinder, maybe build this as simple primitive shapes on Blender, and then import it to this piece and all that. But I don't think that's totally necessary for this, especially because this will still be quite stylized. I'll still have some lines in the piece. So I'm not adding 3D to this process will be overkill. So this way drawing. Harley, I see you on YouTube. So this is where drawing with color comes in. Where your drawing is what will help your painting, right? Because in this case, I'm just drawing and I'm using color here. So yeah, I'm a big fan of improving your drawing as you get better at painting. Time to switch to YouTube. Mr. Morel, good morning. The cow, the Coyote draws. Good morning. I remember using the lasso tool in front of someone, um, and the guy was so shocked that pros use lasso tool. Said he felt betrayed. I was like, why would you think you shouldn't use the lasso tool? Because he said he was expecting that you can just magically achieve clean edges without the lasso tool. So I'm not that good. Sorry, guy. But yeah, basically, you should definitely feel free to use all the digital uh, all the digital aspects that makes you a digital artist, right? You shouldn't limit yourself that, oh, this tool is deadly, this tool is not good. You should use everything to your advantage. For example, one thing I know most new, comic artists won't have to struggle with, unlike people like me, that started with drawing on paper, is you don't have to struggle with perspective anymore because of the perspective function on Clip Studio is so powerful. So it doesn't make any sense for you to uh, struggle with that anymore. You know. So basically, as softwares become more powerful and all that, we should use them as tools. I should see. Good morning, bro. You get a good grip of the hairstyle. Okay, there you go. Making progress. Oh, we're only seeing the reference, not the art. I'm so sorry. I think. Okay. I keep dragging it away from your view, Instagram. So I think this will make things better. The only thing is Instagram, you won't really be able to see the reference. So this is why I tend to feel comfortable working. So. Lock Shades, good morning. I see you. Hope you had a good weekend. Ashwati, thanks for notifying me about the screen. I hope it's better now. It looks better from here, but let me know. I should make this darker. Lock Shades, good morning, bro. My weekend was good enough, thank you. How about you? My weekend was great. My weekend was great. Lock Shades, okay, how about yours? Okay, I've answered that question. Kumi Akonde, amazing work. Yeah, thanks, bro. Thanks a lot. Harley Raleigh, let me just call you Harley. I'm in love with her hair. Okay, yeah, thanks. I just decided to go super simple with this one. I don't want to overcomplicate it. Maybe some other day we'll do a stream where we'll just be um drawing different hairstyles, different African hairstyles, or different dreadlocks. I was going through Pinterest this morning before the stream and I saw a lot of dreadlocks designs. Especially because that seems to be the what's in vogue these days. Okay, so not to overdo that one. Let's go to the next element. So usually when I'm refining stuff, I'm thinking elements per element, right? So you refine the face, refine the hair, refine the um, breastplates, refine the clothing, the hands, the thing she's wearing, and all that. So that's basically how I'm thinking of refining these days. It's more or less structured, right? Every element of the character. Same thing with environment. Sometimes every element of that's in the environment and all that. So let's refine the breastplates. Since it's a bluish environment, I want to put some bluish hue. Okay, too much. Yeah, this works. Yeah, it's better now. Thank you, Gabron. Thank you, Lashexi. Since this is receding into the background, it should be a bit darker. But then I'm having some light coming from this direction. So put a little bit here. So Creative C, good morning. So the style I'm going for is one where you can still see lines, but there's the insides are painted, right? Look, shades, I gotta go now. I might watch later. Yeah, thanks for showing up, bro. Thanks for supporting. Right. Interesting how this is going together very well. Yeah, Nigram, good morning. Art Godwin King, good morning again. I want to bump this up a bit. Just a teeny weeny bit. Because I want the edge to show. Can you see that? Oh, okay. To tie up your view. Sorry, Instagram. Just a teeny weeny bit. And usually, I think it's best to paint things that are in the background first before you come forward. So that's why I'm treating these things here because there are things that are on top of them, right? So that's why I painted this breastplate first before I paint this thingy, you know, this triangular trapezoid-ish thing. Um, although I know well, yeah, I started the face first before I came to the front of the hair, before I come to this band on her head and all that. So yeah, and usually I prefer to paint the places that are not so much of a challenge first. Of course, the reason why we went to start with the head was because we had just finished warming up with some portraits, so I was feeling confident. But I'm purposely avoiding the hands for now. You know, I mean, of course, I might not even get to paint the hands in today's stream. 'Cause- So let's put some interesting shapes here. Okay, get the just so I don't violate the hands. That's my other ref. Okay, always get better results when you use references. It's always it always makes you. I mean, you're more confident, right? And at least you know what you're doing, basically. That's what happened. Elise Agbola, good morning. How's your weekend? Art of Akin, good morning. Emmanuel, good morning. Weekend shouldn't have ended. Ah, that's a good one. That's a good sign. Happy you enjoyed your weekend. That's great. Art of Akin caught me. Thought I'd sneaked in. What's up, bro? Yeah, well, Instagram always announces it to the whole world, whoever comes in. So, and this channel isn't big enough for me not to notice everyone. So, yeah, I saw you. I saw you. But yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Doing well. Guess you are on your way to work, or have you started work already? After working, I'm working from home. This looks good. Oh, thank you. Abiola time. Good morning. I hope you had a great weekend. It's been a while. Goodness from Alora, life bringer. Yep, that's the title of this piece. I might need more reference for this hand, so I'll take a picture of myself um, in preparation for tomorrow's stream of my hand doing this. Oh, there you go. Okay, let me get rid of this. Yes, my weekend was great. Thank you. Savua, welcome. I see. I won't get to do the hands in today's stream. I've gotten quiet, right? Just this is the part where my brain starts working. trying to calculate where everything goes. Soul Creations, good morning. Welcome. Loving this piece. Thank you very much. One of the things of coming online to show people processes, you have to commit to the piece. So I can't just easily say, oh, I'm tired of this piece and quit. Nah, I have to finish it. I have to finish it. It's a good thing in my opinion. All right, Abiola, thanks so much. Thanks so much for coming. I appreciate you. Have a good day too. Noshi, good morning, bro. Okay, so I'm thinking of wrapping this up now, guys. I've spent almost 2 hours streaming this morning, so and work has to begin. So we have some questions. Soul Creation, what software is this, boss? It is Clip Studio, boss. Clip Studio. LA, good morning, bro. Yeah, thanks a lot, bro. So I know we discussed making it glow. That's still subject to question because I changed the concept a bit, but we'll see how things go. No, she, thanks a lot, bro. Oh, okay. Finally notes. Okay. I know drapery can be an annoying thing for most people, but I genuinely like the challenge of it. It's like push and pull in my mind. It's like you're sculpting. So it's like form study basically. So you're just practicing. How do I make this come out? How do I make a depression here? How do I make the illusion of it turning here? Things like that. So yeah, let's wrap it up now, everybody. So yeah, thanks so much for showing up. Thanks so much. Hope everybody has a good day. Hope you've already warmed up yourself and you're ready to get to your actual work. Hope you've done your practice for this time. So, but yeah, thanks a lot, everyone. So we'll continue tomorrow, 8 a.m. GMT plus one. Have a good day, everybody.